So find the value of x and the measure of AC if B is the midpoint. Okay, so we're going to be talking a lot in these problems about midpoint. What does it mean that it's the middle? So they're saying to us that this right here is the middle. So that's the middle. So if that's the case, if B is the middle, well then this formula right here also goes right here. They've got to be the same, don't they? Does that make sense? Because however far it is from here to here, this distance has to be the same as that distance, right? Because B is the middle. So this, if this is 2x plus 3, then this has to be 2x plus 3 because B is the middle. Okay, so what does that mean then? Well, that means that if we take it over here, two x plus 3, and then the other one, 2x plus 3, and we add them together, they're going to have to equal the whole 7x minus 12 because that's the whole distance, right? See how the 7x minus 12 is the whole distance? And this is half, and this is half. So the two halves have to add up to equal the whole. See how that works? They're telling me this is the middle. B is the middle. So this is the middle. So this half and this half have to add up to be that whole thing. So then we get this equation. This half and this half have to add up to be that whole. Half and half add up to equal the whole. So now we have to solve this equation. And an equal sign is like a wall of separation. So that's why I like to put that line. You don't have to put that line, but sometimes it helps see it a little bit better. It's a wall of separation between the left side of the equal sign and the right side of the equal sign. And we're going to solve that equation for x. All right, well, let's start. Let's see what you remember about solving equations. So I'm going to start by combining like terms. So 2x and 2x is 4x, and 3 and 3 is 6, like that. Just combine like terms there. Now, this is a little more tricky. How do you solve an equation that has x's on opposite sides like this?
You subtract.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, so I'm going to write that. You've got it exactly. I don't know where to write the note here. I'll put it over here. X here. I'll put it right over here. Well, no, there's not going to be room there. Can change my mind. How about up here? X on both sides, subtract the lower x. So when you have x on both sides, see how we have an x here and an x there? When x is on both sides, subtract the lower x from both sides. Exactly. So the lower one is going to be the 4x, huh? You have to do the same thing to both sides, as you know, right? Because if two things are equal, right, this side equals that side. If two things are equal and you treat them the same, they got to be equal afterwards. That makes logical sense, doesn't it? Two things are equal and you treat them the same, they got to be equal afterwards. So subtract the 4x from both sides. Let me get rid of this underlining, might be confusing. So we're subtracting 4x from both sides. And then right here, it just cancels, doesn't it? And over here, it's 3x minus 12. Good, good so far. We're trying to get down at the bottom. We want x all by itself, right? We're trying to get x alone. So our next step is to add the 12. And then get 18. And last step, divide by 3. Last step is always dividing. Remember when you're solving, you always do the opposite, and that's 6. Feel free to use a calculator on all this stuff. And so we got x alone. Did you see how I did those last couple of steps? Remember, whenever you're solving for x, you always do the opposite. So the opposite of the minus 12 was plus 12. And then why was the opposite of this 3 divide? Well, because really that's 3 times x. There's no symbol between the 3 and the x, which means multiply. So the opposite of multiply is divide. That's why I divided at the end. So you always do the opposite to get rid of things. The opposite of the minus 12 is add 12 to both sides. The opposite of the 3 that's multiplied by the x is to divide by 3 on both sides. So we got x alone. X, so we can take that over here. X is 6. Got that. But now we're not done. They also want us to find AC, which is this whole thing. AC, you know, from A to C, the whole thing. Well, right here it says the whole distance is 7x minus 12, right? So then I just do that. The whole distance is 7x minus 12. So AC is 7x minus 12. Okay, and we actually know x now, don't we? It's 6. Because we got it right here. So I plug the x value I got, the 6, in for x to the formula 7x minus 12. And then that'll be what? Just use your calculator. 42 minus 12, 30. There it is. AC has got to be 30. AC is 30. And there we go. We answered all the questions on that one.